Okay, so let's talk about the state of Black America right now. How is it negotiating salary in radio as a radio host?
Okay, or let's say your parents always lived around like loud noise, you might be born with smaller ears.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird.
Wow. With you, it seems like how you got to where you are is from Black unity. Like, somebody knew somebody, your mom knew RJ, and he was like, hey, come on up here to the studio. Do you see that a lot? Like,
what can I do to sit down and kick my feet up and still make money? And if you think like that, then do your research and invest in that. Let me tell you something. Mike Street taught me this. He said, until you are so busy that you cannot manage yourself and your own affairs, you don't need to hire a manager.
How could financial management be like more effectively communicated through pop culture?
I think that that's a good question. Hold on, let me think on that.
Hey, okay, we full of them around here.
Yeah, let's put your
yeah, take a sip. What's up, guys? This is Brianna Moore, your host of the Conversations Unearthed podcast, where y'all come for me, but you stay for the guests. Today, y'all already know the guests just keep getting bigger and bigger and better and better. I don't know if y'all familiar with 106.5 The Beat, Richmond's #1 station for hip-hop and R&B. If you're listening to it at 10 to 2, you may have heard Miss Lili Chanel, the host you love the most, okay? She just might be in the building. If you're listening, you might have just heard her laugh. If you're on live, shout out. You may see this beautiful soul with the bust down pony, okay?
Oh, you 16, 17.
Let me tell you something. Hey,
period. You heard me.
Hey, I wouldn't have known. Very, very big Instagram following, very big social media following. I believe you have your journalism degree from VCU. Mm-hmm. Shout out VCU.
Do we really shout out VCU though?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do we really? Because you know what? I owe them $55,000. They need to pay me for a shout out.
Well, at this point, that's true. They have. Well, I was on the nursing side of things.
Okay.
So they took care of me.
See, that's a different story.
They took.
Yeah, you can shout them out.
I'm gonna shout them out. We gonna keep it. We gonna keep it light, cause Lord Jesus, we started madness already. But yeah, so this was my introduction. I don't think you need an introduction, but you know what I'm saying. Go ahead and let them know who you are, what you're doing, what you got going on.
Well, Brianna, I think you already handled it.
Okay.
I think you put it down.
Look, they calling this show the new Club Shay Shay. So you know what I'm saying. You know his intros be immaculate.
No, but you did that. You did that. And look, you got the drinks on deck for us. So I mean,
and I wasn't even drinking, but you know, a hostess never lets somebody else drink alone.
Look, can we toast to that? Can we toast to that?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me get on there.
How you feeling? What's going on? I'm gonna let you sip a little bit. But I don't know if you've ever listened to the show. It's a fairly new show. But it's gonna be one of the biggest shows in the world. But as somebody like you, I'm watching you thriving in what you do, journalism, radio, one of the biggest radio shows in the world, one of the best spots, timelines for the radio, 10 to 2. You got a ton of people listening. Thank you so much for being here. I gotta give you flowers.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sitting next to greatness right now, so you know
it goes both ways. You are very great, very accomplished. Listen, your flowers I do too.
I'm humble, but look, this is just proximity, man. You know, that's what it's all about.
Always.
So question. Oh, I had an interesting question. I want to do like a little icebreaker question.
Let's do it.
The question is, who are you with when you love yourself the most?
Myself.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm alone when I love myself the most.
Okay.
That's a fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how is that? Has that always been a thing? Are you alone? Are you an only child?
No. So I have 7 brothers and sisters. Well, I have 6 brothers and sisters. So I'm one of 7. And yeah, I think it's just been like just how I've always been in a sense. I think when I love myself the most is when I'm alone. I think most people do, right? Because the thing is, when you're around other people, you exert your energy into them. Even when you're around family, you're not really loving yourself at that moment. You love the people around you the most. Even when you're with like the person that's closest to you, maybe it's a mom. you love that person. It's not about you. It's about them at that moment. But when you're alone and you're by yourself and you ain't going through nothing, you can love you.
I love that. I love that. We see you a lot. We see you on the gram flexing. Not you ain't got to flex too much. You ain't got to flex too much.
I'm humble. I'm a humble girl.
But I be seeing you out there. What is it like balancing? Are people recognizing you when you go out? Is it hard to date? Like how it's not hard to date.
It's not hard to date.
Let's put a pin in that.
But it's scary because sometimes you're at a point in your life where more people know you than you know them. Or you may have interacted with somebody previously and you might not remember their face. If you tell me your name, I'll remember it. Okay. But if you if I just see you face to face and we're just talking, you never say, hey, I'm so-and-so. I can't put two and two together.
I got you.
But I'm going to act like I know you. You will never know that I don't know you in return. Even if we've never met. If you act like you know me, I'm going to give you that same energy. Because a lot of us have been on that other side. I remember being that girl and you come up to a public figure and, they might, kind of give you that weird, energy like, oh, hey, I don't like that. Yeah. So I always try to be cognizant of that and be the person that I wish someone else would have been to me.
Okay, cool. Let's do a quick fire round just to warm you up a little bit.
Let's do it.
What's your favorite song to play on air?
On air? Probably right now. You remember that girl Hood Celebrity? Well, she changed her name to Tina, and she has a song called Roses out, and it's really good.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna have to check it out. Morning or evening radio shows?
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. I'm in the middle about that one. I like both. Morning because you have more features. Evening because you can get a little more loose.
Okay. Best interview.
My best interview ever, the Top's Young Blue. Young Blue is second in line now. Skilla Baby. Skilla Baby is my favorite interview ever.
Hey, you fine, don't you?
Yes.
You fine.
He talks a lot. I like him.
I love it. Okay. Do you have a dream guest that you want to interview on your show?
You know what? No.
No. Top on-air blooper moment.
A top on-air blooper moment. I'm trying to think. It's weird because I don't really have any blooper moments because sometimes I don't record live. A lot of times I record, I'll pre-record right before my break comes on.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and the reasons being is because a lot of times when I'm recording, I'm on the phone. When I'm at work, I'm talking to my friends. I'm making FaceTime calls because you want to sound conversational on air. So I'm talking to people. So I'm like, y'all shut up. I have the phone completely, turned down. But somebody might say something. Now I got to re-record.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
And is that typical for radio hosts to do?
Some people do it. Okay. Some people sit in rooms in the dark by themselves. It varies based on the person for real.
I got you. And my man, Steve Harvey, comes on right before you.
Yes.
Okay, he's not in Richmond, right?
Mm-mm.
He's somewhere else.
I think he's in the A.
He's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So his show, how does that work?
So syndication. Okay, how we have we were talking about the Doug Banks morning show. If you're from AO4, you know what I'm talking about. Or Ricky Smiley or anybody like that. It's all syndicated. So
I got you.
Breakfast Club.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do we get? Let's just take it back. Let's take it back, because this is not a career that a lot of positions open up very frequently.
That's true.
This is like a once in a lifetime, or it has to take a very special person, a very driven person, a very well connected person. I feel like to get in these spaces. How were you able to do this? And we can take it back to what even made you want to go to school for journalism.
I got you. So the way that I got into radio is Sir RJ. So Sir RJ and my uncle actually went to high school together. And speaking of Doug Banks, one day when I was coming from Russ Bus, I'm 15, 16 at the time. And my mom, she was talking to Chaco, and I guess her and Chaco went to school together. She sees RJ, and he's just like, oh, hey, how you been? Blah, blah, blah. And ironically, here I come. And, she introduced me to him, and she's mentioning that, radio and TV is what I've always been interested in. He's like, well, you want to come to the station, you can. So I used to come up there, my mom would stay with me. I would do my homework. And I just kind of never went away.
How old were you at that time?
I was 16. I was 15 turning 16.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
I just never went away. I'm 30 now, so.
So you just always been around.
Yeah.
Always been around.
Like a fungus that just never went away.
Not a fungus. Not a fungus. And then, nowadays there's a lot of streaming going on.
Definitely.
How do you feel about that? Like, do you think that you have the same amount of listeners on the radio now? Because the radio's not going anywhere. Like, it's just it is what it is. But a lot of people that I know, if I'm in the car, like we streaming on Apple Music or YouTube or something like that. Are y'all? I know y'all are aware of this, but are you guys pivoting in a different direction? Is it affecting views or anything, or how is it? No.
Radio, statistically, radio is still the number one genre of media, which is crazy, right? That's why I think radio has adapted to having like apps. It's like we always promote the Odyssey app. We have our own app. iHeart has their own app. So you can still listen to your radio stations via your telephone, so we're not completely out of the loop. Like, if you're in the car, you don't want to listen to FM, just tap into the app, you feel me? So you gotta adapt to the technology.
Okay. And as a pop culture connoisseur, what, so you in the know about
I try to stay in the know. I made that up when I was like 19. I'm 30 now.
I love it. A pop culture connoisseur is like that's a money-making name right there.
You like that?
I love it. I mean, because it's true. Because I know when you do your radio show, it's some pretty crazy topics. Sometimes it's a lot of hate in the world. It's a lot of hurt in the world. But you're able to bridge the gap, explain it to people like a 3-year-old, and also make it very digestible.
Yeah.
Is that something that they teach you to do in school, or is it something that you just kind of learned along the way?
It's a little bit of both. So ultimately I went to school for mass communications with a concentration in broadcast journalism.
Gotcha.
But ultimately, you have to learn along the way how to talk to people. I had a professor named Mary Owens. She used to curse at us in class. I loved her so much. My favorite professor.
Shout out to Miss Mary.
Yes, but she mentioned that you have to always assume that like nobody knows what you're talking about. So you want to explain to everybody as if they're a child. And you got to do it without being condescending and relatable. And also she mentioned that like the average person, that's why, for example, when you watch like the news, they don't use extreme extensive vocabulary, because the average person has like the vocabulary of a 12-year-old. Yeah. So anything that's longer than 3 syllables, you don't use it.
Wow. This is a masterclass right now. So for people looking to get into journalism, or people who are looking to be a radio host, what advice would you have for them?
Read a book. Unless you want to become a newscaster, like if you are not interested in becoming a reporter, an anchor, anything that has to do with TV news, read a book and go to school for marketing.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because you can teach yourself radio. You can teach yourself communications. There's so many courses out there. Save that $50,000-$60,000 unless you plan on becoming anything involving TV news.
So you feel like you could have done this without the degree?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes. I think, ask anybody else with a mass comm degree that's not like in TV news or TV entertainment. Yeah.
So it's a lot of on-the-job training.
Yeah, like I know how to work the cameras. I know how to like do a VO, a VOSI. I know how to do all these things, but that relates to TV, not radio.
Oh, wow. And when you think about journalists too, I think about the people like in the windstorms or like covering tornadoes and things like that. I'm like, I don't know how much them people getting paid, but y'all need to be dropping a bag on these people.
Your storm chasers, yes. The people who are down in Milton.
Yeah. Is that so? Is that something you would do? Is that something you could? No, that's not your type of vibe. You can't say,
listen, my lace front will be rolling with the wind. I will be a laughing stock of TV.
Okay.
Could you do it?
Hey, if the price is right, I might. If the price is right, I might go out there.
I'm not bad at that.
Yeah, I might. But covering stuff is not my thing. I just like talking to people, and I can kind of figure out what to say to make it seem like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I'll probably be like, "Hey, y'all, this is going crazy. I don't know what's going on." But so like when it comes to things like that, just going back to, they need to be dropping a bag on them people. How is it negotiating salary in radio as a radio host?
Okay. when you have skin in the game, you can talk. When you have data behind you, you can talk. But if you don't, if you're new to the game, you have to take what they give you at the moment. Whatever that cookie cutter contract is, you accept it because you don't have any, accolades behind you. Once you start getting them, then you can have a different conversation.
I got you. And just with being on radio and stuff like that, you're a public figure, and when people come see you, I know they bringing gifts. What's the best gift somebody ever bought you? To the station.
People bring me alcohol. People bring me people love bringing me alcohol. I'm like,
Exhibit A.
I think when we're grown, and I think people just understand, it's always some form of a wine or champagne. I appreciate those things.
I love it.
Yes.
So the bar is stocked.
Absolutely. But they bring merch too. People give you merch. That's appreciated too.
Yeah. So I recently saw an interview with Money Long, and she was basically saying she feels like people are not really artists anymore. They're not with a band playing a drum and listening to vocals and things like that. They just rapping over a track. Most of the time very fast. And I know she was saying the bridge of the song is something that's very important to her, and she was saying people just don't really pay attention to things like that. So as somebody in your genre, because I don't know how old are you, by the way?
I'm a millennial.
Okay, you're a millennial.
I'm in there.
You're 30.
Yes.
Dang.
Yes.
I'm 31. You young. You a baby.
You were still peeing on yourself when I was born. You know that, right?
Well, that's true.
I'm just saying. I always gotta say that.
We both are still got a little milk behind our ears.
I'll be 31 in November though.
Oh wait, okay. So you're a Sagittarius, right?
Yeah.
You said okay. I know some Scorpio November babies. I might get along with you a little better. Anyway, shout out to the November babies, all of y'all. Dang, what was I about to say? Oh yes. Do you agree with that? Do you think that people who spend a little more time on their records now, like a John Legend or like a Money Long, are I guess better or received better than a Skilla Baby?
Right. Yeah. I mean, the state of hip hop now is in the toilet. Think about I think Mace. He just dropped a freestyle on that podcast with Cameron. I just saw a thread about that on social media, and it was just talking about the older MCs from an older age in hip hop, how they can really drop bars. This generation now, it's not, they don't take time to write. You can tell they don't read books. They don't really care about the art anymore. It's not there. They care about the beat. It's not the art. Yeah.
Nicki or Cardi?
Ooh, Nicki, because she's a bar dropper. Personality-wise, Cardi, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because Nicki and her coke rants, we know how that goes.
Nicki, I want to like her so bad, but she is just not a girl's girl, and it makes me so upset sometimes.
She a December Sagittarius. It be like that sometimes.
Oh, y'all the same sign.
I'm a November Sag. We're way different.
We are not the same.
We're way different.
Okay, I got you. So this is a financial podcast, so we try to get into a little bit about money and finances and things like that.
Let's do it.
Are you investing in anything right now?
Yeah, so I invest in the stock market heavily.
Okay.
Yeah. I learned how to trade options.
Okay.
I'm not just an options trader. I also own stocks as well. But the most important thing right now for me is options because I'm good at it now. 2020 to 2020. Almost 2022 was a rough time, but now we're doing much better. So that's my biggest focus right now. I'm also investing in mental health, but I don't want to say too much about that right now. Yeah,
I got you. Investing in mental health?
Yes, I'll tell you.
Okay, I'm about to say, wait a minute. That sounds like
off the record. We'll talk.
Lucrative.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Okay, so let's talk about the state of Black America right now. Okay. Because Heather and I was just talking, and obviously we're 400 years behind. How do you think pop culture and what you do and the message that you have created and curated, how could financial management be more effectively communicated through pop culture?
I think that that's a good question. Hold on, let me think on that.
Hey, we full of them around here.
Yeah, let's sip a drink.
Yeah, take a sip. I'm asking because I don't know.
Yeah, because like hip hop currently, especially hip hop, it's about splurge culture, even R&B. You know, we don't talk about saving, we don't talk about investing. But another thing is we don't talk about history, right? So we talk about being 400 years behind, but it's not a whole 400 years. I'm gonna tell you why. So I'm just a history geek, and I was looking at first I started looking at it started on TikTok, then it brought me to a documentary because I needed some context. But if you guys didn't know, by I think what was it, before 1924, like right after slavery up until 1924, there were, I think, about 1,300 black towns in the United States. And that equaled up to about $300 billion worth of land. And this land was seized by like eminent domain. It was taken over by mobs and things of that nature. The research, it's there, but it's just not public knowledge. And, a lot of this would be considered as critical race theory, but it's not a theory, it's facts. So, we're not very far behind, but, we've been put there by the same country we live in. Or I wouldn't even say it's not completely the country, but it's partially and its inhabitants. So
and we were talking a little bit before this when I was like, a lot of people I listen to, a lot of predominantly black podcasts have blamed our lack of financial literacy on us not being told the information by other ethnicities. And like I was telling you, like, this is beaten into your brain, especially from a kid. Like, they don't tell us nothing. Oh, the boss man you gotta be careful what you say around the boss man. You don't want to get fired because you're black, or like things are happening to you because you're black. But when you really start to hone in and like actually go to the library and pick up a book and start reading, it lays out everything that you need to know. And it was a point where this had been beaten into my head so much, and not just from podcasts and things like that, but social media. Like, my algorithm is blackity black, so it's a real fact, and I love it. But when it comes down to the information, it's like the excuse that people have as to why they're not financially literate is because we weren't told. But I'm like, you know what? Let me go pick up this book, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, wait a minute, am I supposed to have this?
That's it.
Like, they told me that they didn't tell us anything, but it's right here.
Exactly.
Like, how?
And a lot of things they didn't necessarily tell us. We've had these things before.
Yeah.
We just no longer have them due to external forces. So, I think a lot of times black people are kind of, I wouldn't say tricked into believing a certain thing, but I would say we're, they try to, what word am I looking for? It's like you're not taught to believe this, but you are, because based on the facts that are provided to you. But if you go to, if you actually, like you said, read a book and you learn about your history, you realize that black people were more than just, slaves. Like, black people are more than just, like a lesser race. Yes, and we've had these things before, and you can do them again, but I think it's just a fear that's just been like set for it's a generational fear. Because I mean, imagine owning a large amounts of land in a certain period of time that's less than 200 years old, and having it all taken away from you violently. It's gonna create fear that's gonna pass generationally. And I think without that knowledge, then you can't, if you don't know about it, you can't remedy it.
Yeah. Do you think trauma can be like genetic?
Hell yeah. I was reading, listen, let's get into psychology, right?
So, yeah.
So I was taking a psychology course, and we were talking about I think it's like how genetics can be influenced by trauma. Like, for example, let's say your parents lived, like, let's say your mom was pregnant with you, or let's say your parents always lived around like loud noise, you might be born with smaller ears.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gotta jump in on that one.
Yeah,
My bad. I don't be jumping in. She wanna give me a mic so bad, but oh well. Is it gonna pick up? It might not pick up. We'll see. Nonetheless, I was at Sarah Jack's conference a few weeks ago, and Dr. Anita Phillips, I think that's her last name, was talking about it, and she was like, literally 14 generations. So something that happened 14 generations is literally affecting you in molding how you are today. So exactly what you were saying, it's passed down. Things that we don't even realize have been passed down and passed down. That's all. Step back.
Big
Keep drinking my wine.
Big y'all spitting right now. I'm ready to take my headphones off. I want to listen to y'all. I love having women here. Like, because I interview a lot of men, a lot of powerful white men. But the energy and the vibe is just different. I can't talk to them about stuff like this. I know I was saying, you went to a networking event the other day and you were saying like, they were saying like, well, you have the platform and you have your business cards and you're doing stuff on social media. It should be easy now, right? Like everything should just be coming to you now, right? But they were mostly white women. So they didn't, they don't relate on that level. Right. Let's get down to the unity of Black people, okay? Because I feel like that is where we lack the most. Obviously, you are very successful, young Black woman. You identify as Black, right?
You better know it.
You know that they talk about Kamala right now.
What race is she? Hey, come on now.
I just wanted to make sure y'all was on the same page.
I'm not gonna do
come at us.
The typical Black people thing. I'm Native American.
Native American.
Child, I did mine.
Yes.
And I did mine and I don't have none in there. My mom been swearing I was Native American my whole life. Baby, no. You're 23% white and the rest Black. But stop playing with you.
Don't get me started on the whole term Native American either.
I swear we are.
Y'all, we're going to be sitting here till tomorrow. I'm going to sound like Dr. Umar.
Dr.
Oh my God.
Too.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So much.
This is where I drop out of the conversation.
Like ignorance and history at the same time.
This is where I drop out of the conversation.
Like ignorance and history at the same time. That's what it is.
He is ignorant.
He a scammer. I feel like he a scammer. But we gonna get into that a little later. But
you're drinking too much wine now. Now shut up.
He been working on this school for 10 years. And they got all these donations. I'm just educating people. But look, he got some good points though. I mean, anyways, we will get off that topic. I don't want to get canceled.
We gotta pay for the education.
I don't want to get I don't want to get canceled before I arrive. But with you, it seems like how you got to where you are is from Black unity. Like somebody knew somebody. Your mom knew RJ, and he was like, hey, come on up here to the studio. Do you see that a lot? Like in your friend group, is that something that you see? Is that something that everybody else has had? Or
some people who I know, like, I feel like not my close-knit friend group, but the friends that I've made in the industry. Yeah, in certain instances.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because radio is one of those things. TV is similar as well. Like they always say it's not what you know, it's who you know. But in the entertainment industry, I think that it means a lot more in the entertainment industry.
Okay, cool. And now I'm gonna take it back to finances. Because I try to keep it there, but we end up going all different types of ways.
Well, I got ADHD, baby. Let's go everywhere. It's fine.
You got ADHD?
Yes, real bad.
Shout out to the two twins over here. She got
heavy on it. Oh, babe.
She got it bad.
Big.
And she don't want to take no medicine for it.
I'm not going to either.
I'm not. And not.
You know what? I feel like that might be a requirement though for what y'all do in y'all's day job.
Yeah, it's being able
to be in control of so many thoughts at one time. And I ain't got it. Okay. When it comes to managing money and preparing for long-term financial stability, what would you tell young professionals entering industries like journalism to do about these things, managing money and preparing for long-term financial stability? Because like you said, you got to kind of take what you get.
Absolutely.
To begin with.
Yeah. But you always have to budget. I always recommend saving. And I always recommend investing in something that's, you can invest in what's within your industry. Like, for example, if you want to branch out, buy a roadcaster. If you want to make money becoming an influencer, do that if that's what you want. But I always try to figure out, like, how can I make more money than what I make now? Okay, do I want to be in this industry forever? What can I do to sit down and kick my feet up and still make money? And if you think like that, then do your research and invest in that.
And are there any money mistakes that you've learned along the way?
Yeah. You talking about just trading options without knowing exactly how to do everything, especially if you don't know how to chart. If you don't know how to chart, if you're not interested in, learning about catalysts, if you're not interested in learning about like earning seasons, don't trade. Don't trade, because you will lose thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And learn how to trade small initially. Don't trade more than you are willing to lose, because you will become depressed.
Man, yeah. And you preaching to the choir, because I tried trading options.
How'd it go?
Well, it started off okay. So I didn't know what I was doing. I joined like this. What is it? Discord group.
Oh shoot! They got you.
First of all, I'm gonna put my business on there. You know EYL?
Yeah.
Earn Your Leisure. So shout out to them. I don't have no deep with them. But they are one of the podcasts that like actually helped me to get to where I am financially now. So shout out to them. But they had a person on who was like promoting his trading group. This trading group was like $2,000 to get into. I know, right?
Did you is it Ian?
No, it's not. I did pay for his thing when it was like $200 for a year, so I got that, and that was fine. This was somebody else. I forgot what it was so long ago.
Okay.
But I spent $2,000 to get in this group, and it was so unorganized. It was low-key a little ratchet, because they would be trading. I don't know how people like teach you how to trade, but it was just a whole lot of cussing. And a whole I was just like, what am I supposed to do? So I'm pushing buttons and things like that, and I thought I was paper trading. Hit the thing, it's doing the little thing again. I thought I was paper trading. Come to find out, I was actually trading.
Yeah.
So I think I spent like $50 on something. I was like, okay, this going up, and I made $500. And I didn't know. I didn't know how to get out though. So I'm on the phone with TD and Magic. And I'm like, can you get me out of this position? So they ended up getting me out. I tried it again. Listening to Troy, because he was talking about something. Y'all need to buy Disney. Disney going up. I'm like, all right, let me put $1,500 on Disney real quick. While in the morning when I was going to work, I was making money. I was a travel nurse at UVA. So I'm in the car going to work at whatever time, 9 o'clock in the morning. That's when trading open. By 10:30.
That's how it started.
It was at like negative 50.
Yeah. And see, I don't normally, if I don't see the catalyst like the day before, I'll wait. I always wait until 10:30 to get into a trade. Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you put a stop loss? Did you learn about stop losses?
I did, but Troy said we better.
He said after we fall.
So yeah, but so I don't trade anymore. Yeah. I was trading Tesla at one point, and then I lost another like $60, and I'm like,
Tesla will do it to you. Tesla will humble you. Yeah. Tesla humbled me. I feel your pain. I see it in your face.
Because it's so consistent. It'll be consistent for like weeks, and then Elon will say something, and or Romy Rome will say something. Jerome Powell, if you don't know who that is, head of the Federal Reserve. If he come out and he has some good news,
even if it's bad news,
the stocks might
they'll drop before he talks every single time. The day of, it's a bad trading day. It's a red day.
Yeah. That was a trip down memory lane. That was a very depressing time.
But these are the catalysts that we talk about. We don't know about this initially.
You gotta spend money to make money.
You do? Would you do it again?
Hell no. I would not trade again. I am a long-term investor.
Respect.
So I have some shares. I have like 40 shares of Apple. I love Apple because obviously everything is Apple, and I figured I'd get some dividends from it. I do listen to Ian. He said VOO, so the Vanguard stocks, VTI, VUG. I have those. QQQ. I love QQQ. Trade those. And Microsoft. Okay. So a lot of tech stocks.
Gotcha.
And a lot of like tech ETFs.
Yeah.
But trading options,
I respect it.
Not at all.
I'm not mad at that.
Not at all. So when it comes down to you, I want to know about you, because we talked about career. We talked a little bit about family with your mom and stuff like that. Your 7 brothers. Is it 7 brothers?
No, there's
7 brothers and sisters.
It's 4 sisters and 2 brothers.
Shout out to them.
Definitely.
Who is Lili Chanel? Because I'm reading, your name is not that. That's not your real name.
My name's Adjua.
Adjua. Okay. Yeah. Who is Adjua? What does Adjua like to do?
I like to do a little bit of everything. Like, I'm a really big wanderluster, so I'm impulsive. So if I say, hey, you know what, I think I want to drive to the beach today when I get off work, that's what we'll do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I like to keep my life exciting, but I'm also like I guess I'm very like strict when it comes to work, I guess, because a lot of people tell me to take off work, but I'm a workaholic. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like, I mean, even when tragedy happens, I don't stop working. It's crazy. And I never, the mood never changes. So yeah, but I'm also priority driven. So, when I can find excitement, I do. But for the most part, I'm always working. I know it looks like I'm partying. It looks like I'm having a good time. Mm-hmm. I'm always working. That's work. Yeah. So,
if it's a big stage, I feel like you're on it most of the time. Like, I was looking at somebody's story, and it was a big stage. It was recent. I don't know if you posted something recently that was really big, but I forget what it was.
Listen,
but I was like, oh, that looked fun.
I hosted a fashion show, the Culture Experience, out in Hampton. That was really big. It was a lot of people. Shout out to Team Lamb and shout out to our Landra Britt. It was a great experience, and I think it was also good to like expand. It's crazy because I don't keep my flyers up on my page because I'm so humble one. Yeah, so it's just like I'm not the hey look at me person,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, what I've learned recently is the number one fear. Do you know the number one fear of Americans?
What?
In the world?
Dying.
No.
Going broke.
No. Public speaking.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Is it? It was shocking to me too. Like that's the fear of public speaking. Yeah. Are you afraid of? Well, obviously you're not. But how did you get to where you're okay with speaking in public? Well, with 7 brothers and sisters, it seems like you wouldn't have a problem speaking up.
Yeah, like for example.
Okay. What she want all day?
Huh?
What she want?
She wanted to clean.
Well, she can't clean right now.
I know. I told her. I said, filmamos. I said, ¿Cómo se dice film? And she said, filmar. And I said, filmamos. I speak Spanish like this much. Yeah. I'm taking lessons, so she been coming by talking to me.
This is the second blooper that lady gave us. Lord, put the camera back. Don't even talking to me. I know how to speak it this way.
And I made a new friend.
Lord,
I'm not mad at that.
Like
people like you says, look, when we go out of the country, we know who to take with us. Okay.
I'm the girl. Passport stamp. I'm on second one. Ready.
That's a travel. That's
Hello, Ghana in December.
You'll give us the discount. Oh, you want a Dutty December?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta hear about that.
Can't wait to talk about it.
No. No, you want in January, right?
December 24th. That's so January 3rd. It's gonna be a good time.
Oh, I know that's gonna be a good time.
Dang. I'll be here.
So will I. Well, we got to put you on the podcast. I would like to be sitting in that chair when she's here because I want to hear all about it.
All right, we're going to have an episode just about Ghana.
Please.
We will. I will keep some of it to myself.
Like immediately. When she gets back, we need you to this country.
Okay.
Bags in hand.
So my birthday is a day after we get back, so it'll have to be like the next day. But I got y'all.
She's hoping to get proposed to on her birthday.
Oh my gosh. You know what? People will say anything on a podcast live. People will say anything.
That's fake news.
Fake news.
The fake news.
What? Let me sip some wine. What were we talking about before Julia interrupted us?
Hosanna in here, relax. She need a bottle of this wine.
Look, she about to squish the whole. She said, "What does fake? They're eating the cats." No,
none of that. Wait, that debate. Okay. I love Kamala, man, because she.
It was the pause.
Looking like a black auntie the whole time. Like
yes. It was the pause for me. It was the.
And did y'all see when she caught herself?
Yeah.
Because she was definitely about to say. She was either gonna say this bitch or this motherfucker, and I said, "Oh, I know. I speak like
I know that all day."
And then there's a rumor going on about her earrings. Did you hear?
No. What is the
They're
rumor?
saying that her earrings are like the headphones. So like, so that's
smart.
That's a Republican theory. Yeah.
She get away with it
because they found her earrings on Amazon, and it was a microphone, a speaker or something like that.
I need something like that for myself. What you mean?
Send us the
Yes.
Yeah, that's all.
Put a link in your Amazon storefront, please.
Yeah. Yes. How you think this election is going to affect what's going on right now? Because I'm feeling like Kamala is about to run up a bag.
I think so too, but I also think that I like Kamala right now because I like the role that she's playing. Because as a Black woman, it's kind of like your mom being nice to you before she laid a belt on you, because later on, like, let's say for example, they tell you, I'm gonna beat your ass, you're not gonna know the time or the place, but it's coming.
Yeah.
And then you wake up out of your sleep, you know it. Yeah. I just think that once she gets in office, that's when we're going to see the real strong Black woman figure. Yeah. I think right now she has to play nice to get the votes, but once she's in there, it's going to be like, watch this.
Yep. I agree. Because Trump, I feel like we about to have a COVID times 2, or it's going to be a nuclear war. So it's like...
the latter.
Yeah. Because you don't know how to talk to people. And that's literally all you got to do to be president at this point. You're just running. Just be nice to people. Have your stuff together. Have your conversation together. Don't say you go grab somebody by the pussy.
Let's talk about it.
You just got... Isn't he still a felon? He's still a felon, right?
But I think I was looking at CNBC earlier today, and they were talking about... They're trying to enforce some new law where felons can vote as long as they've served their time. You should be able to vote, and I think Trump is he's the poster child for this.
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
And then he's trying.
I'm not really mad at it either, because more of our Black men will be able to vote, and I'm cool with that. I ain't really tripping too much on that.
Yeah. And I know a lot of the issues that Black men have with Kamala is they say that she was prosecuting a lot of men in San Francisco.
That's fake news.
For weed. And I saw she was on Charlemagne's show recently, probably within the last week or so, and she was like, look, I was actually very lenient on these people.
Okay.
And when I think about it, I'm like, for one, okay, I never been to San Francisco, but I looked at some pictures. I didn't see one Black person there. And is it Black people in San Francisco for y'all to be mad at her persecuting them in San? Where they at? Well, I need some hands raised. Which one of y'all went to jail for weed back in I don't know.
Anybody on the TikTok?
Because Trump out here got y'all buying these gold shoes, thinking that.
Oh, and the champagne.
Black folks.
What? Whose idea was that? Like, who on his team said, give them shoes? They got shoes. Y'all know you ain't got no Black friends because you did wrong.
Yeah. What you got going on for the rest of the week? What can we expect from you?
Ooh, child. You're just going to have to follow it on Instagram.
Oh, I see. Oh, I follow it. You be knowing about the events.
Instagram. Child.
You be posting all the events.
I try to. And I try to keep everybody, kind of engaged, on what's going on in Richmond. So RVA events list, weekend events list. I try to post that.
It's okay. We're about to send you the flyer for the financial literacy event. It's coming.
To me.
I'm just
anything that's going on, as long as it's free and it's open to the public, I will post it. I do not mind.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I have a personal question. Well, I have a selfish question.
So
we trying to have. Okay. Well, let's just say somebody, and it's a money question. It's not like nothing crazy. But let's just say I'm trying to have an event, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to get some sponsors. How am I to get sponsors? It's a financial literacy event. I'm thinking about 150 to 200 people. I am not trying to pay for anything because I am doing this service for the community, my community, bringing people in, guest speakers, people that's going to educate, keep you engaged. And this is going to be I was thinking it'll be 2 days, but I'm thinking we're going to limit it to 8 hours.
Okay.
How can something like that be funded by a bank or something I don't know if that's even your will.
Yeah, that's my lane.
Okay.
So connect with a nonprofit and then create a proposal. That's it. Because the thing is, people want the tax break, and then you own a nonprofit.
No.
Do you know somebody who does?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Because they want the tax break. They want to.
Money.
No, it's fine. Oh. They're going to donate to the nonprofit. Okay. And as long as, it's a recognized nonprofit, they get the tax break. So they're more than likely willing to help you out. That's how you get the sponsorship. That's how you get the bread.
So I can't just walk in Wells Fargo and be like, excuse me.
Hell no.
Y'all got $50K?
They're gonna be like, it for who? $50K for who? You want a loan?
right.
Yeah, but for a nonprofit, a lot of businesses are likely to cut you that check.
And you said this is your lane.
Yeah, so right now I'm working on my first signature event. It's a toy drive and giveaway, and I'm actually partnering with Sheriff Antoinette Irving and the Antoinette Irving Foundation. Yeah, so
she was just here.
That's
we just interviewed her.
I love her. Like, she's so community driven. Like, she's just, so impactful and so humble while doing it all. You know, she wears so many hats.
Yeah.
And, and she doesn't let any of this affect her. And what she does, for the community, even to her residents at the jail. Like, she is the sheriff. Okay, if we can have her forever, can we make that happen?
Yes. We are.
Please don't retire.
We can change the rules. We can change the rules.
Yeah.
Can we keep you forever?
That's crazy that she was. This is all right. We gotta break it down, because this whole podcast situation, this space, this room is so divine. It's like a spiritual type of atmosphere in here. Because for one, how was she just here? You brought her up in this light. We're trying to have this event that we don't have no idea how to fund. This is your wheelhouse, and you just gave us the blueprint on the jump. What you doing with somebody else that was just here.
6 degrees of separation.
I got all of y'all personal numbers. Like, it's just, like I said, their proximity. You know what I'm saying?
Let's all touch hands and play the lottery when we leave.
Let's go put the numbers in. I don't really do that, but in this area, we can do it. Let's go for it.
Point, I'm just so blessed. So blessed. I just feel like everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen. Even with what I was telling you before with my job and stuff like that, how I literally do not want, it hurts to go to work and starting this new venture that I don't know is going to work out, and then having you come and just pour so much life and information into us that we would not have had. Like, it's just, everything is working out. God is so good.
All the time.
God is good.
And everybody helps each other, appreciating the things that you do for the community as well. I mean, just trying to provide us with, like, financial literacy, that is so important, and I feel like when you do good for the community, it comes back to you.
Tenfold.
So I think it's going to work. I think it's all going to work out.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. Let us know where we can follow you, how we can connect with you, and how we can support you.
Of course. You can find me on all social media at the Lili Chanel. Lili is spelled Lili. Get at me, dog. I follow back.
Hey.
Yes. Period. I love it.
Yes. And I want to say how I got you up here, too. I slid in the DM, y'all, and I was like, hey.
But I answered.
Can you be on my podcast?
I love it. See?
You do, and I'm thinking it might be like your assistant or something like that. You run your own social media?
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Mike Street taught me this. He said, until you are so busy that you cannot manage yourself and your own affairs, you don't need to hire a manager.
Okay.
Do I look like Rihanna?
You think
I resemble her a little bit? Maybe it's the forehead, but I ain't got Rihanna money. So, listen, I'm not that busy yet. I can still handle my own affairs. So,
Drop again about the toy drive that you're organizing.
Yes, so we're working on a toy drive. It's going to be in December. I will give you guys more information. The details are going to be on my Instagram. And yeah, man, it's going down citywide.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I know you have been very busy today, booked and busy.
Sure.
She came here from another meeting that ran long, y'all, and she could have been like, look, let me reschedule it for that week. But
Keep it going.
Drove from Hopewell, y'all. I don't know if y'all know where we at, but we in Richmond. Where we at? What is this?
What's Richmond?
Scottsdale. Exactly. See, that's why she's
the
the brains and the beauty. And so thank y'all for listening. Y'all follow, like, subscribe. Shout out to y'all on the live, and peace out. Good night.
That was a vibe. I love this podcast.